Hello, YouTube. Happy 2016. Happy New Year to all of you around the globe. I hope you had a happy and a healthy holiday season and a great New Year. Some of you may be watching this and it hasn't hit you yet, New Year's. So when it does, I wish you all the best in 2016. Another year has gone by, guys, and believe it or not, this is my full 24th month, 2 years in stacking video of my monthly updates. I can't believe 2 years have gone by. I technically started like the 15th of January, maybe a couple days before that in 2014. Here I sit in now January 2016. I am a full 2 years into stacking, and I have some goals. I have projections of where I want to be, and it's been quite a ride and so educational. And again, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, however you choose to view my videos. Positive feedback, negative feedback, I'm accepting of it all. Just because that's what this channel's about, sharing ideas, sharing your opinions, and I respect each and every one of you. And I hope to hear more of it in 2016. I'm getting over having a sore throat. I'm sitting here, I'm drinking tea, and I'm going to do my month-end videos. It's about, I don't know, a half an hour, 45 minutes into the new year. It was a very quiet new year for me because I am getting over being sick, as well as my significant other. So the two of us, we just sat in. She's sick, I'm sick. So it was a very quiet New Year's, and we actually ordered Chinese food. And you know what? This year, that was fine by me. Anyway, that being said, let's get to cracking with this video here. So, the end of the year 2015. So the end of the month, December 31st, silver spot price was approximately $13.83, $13.85, depending on where you look. 1 or 2 cents isn't really going to make a difference, guys. So down 29 cents on a month over month basis, and for the year over year basis, the start of the year, we started at $15.76. We ended the year at $13.83. So we are now down $1.83 year over year. It's about let's call it $1.57 would be 10%. Add another, let's call it 30 cents. So we're down about 12-13% or so year over year basis from where we started the year to where we ended the year. You know, it's a turbulent year in silver as it is, and it's still pretty rocky. Who knows where silver's going to go? A lot of people are saying 10, a lot of people are saying 5. I have no idea where it's going to go. I just keep collecting what I'm going to collect and stack, and my projection is 15, 20, 25 years from now, and so be it. Everything else is just noise. That's the way I look at it. I collect what I like, I stack what I like. And if I don't like it in the future, I can move some of it because precious metals always have value depending on what type of market it is and what type of item it is. And usually the items that I am stacking have basically all been wanted items. They are things that, stackers alike are collecting all over the world. And I see that just because of what I'm purchasing. And, tastes change over time, and that's fine. But a lot of things that I'm collecting and stacking are staples. And ultimately, people, this isn't for me. This is for my lineage, let's just call it. And that's pretty much it. So getting on to the next bit, this is where silver ended for the year and for the month. Okay. These are my 2015 stacking goals, and I will make a 2016 stacking goal video probably sometime later this week. I just want to sit down more efficiently and think about it. I have a couple days off, so I'm going to be doing that. But my goal was 1 ounce of silver a day. I started the year with 572 ounces, so I needed to get to 937 ounces to meet my goal. Again, my other goal was to lower my cost basis I started the year at $24.80 per ounce. And you got to remember, I'm not just buying bars and such. I'm buying coins that are pricier, that have staying power, so to speak, like Libertads and Britannias, especially the older ones. So that really is putting a dent in my stack. So when I see a $24.80 per ounce cost basis, you got to factor that in. If you were to look for, let's just say, a 1984 Libertad on eBay or Atmex, it's not going to be less than $24.80. So when you consider all of that and all the stacking that I have done up until this point, it's kind of pretty impressive, because you're not buying Libertads cheaper than that, especially the older ones. And the newer ones are around $20 each anyway, unless you get a special, which I've found some over the year. So that being said, this is where I am. My goal was to get it lower, so we'll see where I am at the end of this video. And lastly, my other goal, and you guys, you got to forgive me, I'm working with a new tripod. This is the first video I'm making with it. So I have actually both hands free, which is kind of cool. I've never had that in a video. I'm always holding my phone camera, so this is where I'm at. So now the next one, and also forgive my gloves. I cut up one of my hands. We were doing some remodeling around my house, and I cut up one of my hands. So rather than to burden you with my Band-Aids, I just threw on a pair of gloves, and so be it. I usually never wear gloves in my video, but today I am. When you have 5 Band-Aids on one hand, it's a real problem. So anyway, thirdly, I wanted to collect more numismatic sets and prime pieces, and I've continued to do that all through 2005. So, that being said, let's start with what I have attained first. So, one of the first things that I bought this year was, or this month I should say, on Black Friday actually, was last month, I got a 10-ounce Provident Metals Prospector bar. And it's really nice, and I was really impressed by it. I bought this for $145.89. Yeah, $145.89. So my cost basis on this was $15 or $14.59 an ounce. And I could live with that. You know, I said in order for me to lower my cost basis over last month, because I had a huge month last month with higher end purchases, it put my, I was at $24.61 an ounce at the end of October, and I ended the month of November at $25.16 an ounce. As you saw in my goals, I needed to be below $24.80, and I had some work to do that. So one of the first things I bought was this. This was just a 10-ounce bar, and I like it. And I'll tell you what, I may get another one in the future. I got it for a good price. I haven't seen it drop this low since. Not saying it won't. If it does, perhaps I'll buy another one. But for $145.89, free shipping, it was well worth it. I got it for a really pretty low price on Black Friday. So this was one. Another 2 coins that I purchased were a 1987 and a 1997 Color Eagle. And again, I like these coins. So here's something that I'm going to show you. I have, and I haven't showed this to you yet, I have one, I'm going to lift up this tripod. I have one of these books that I bought, and I actually made a video on it. And what I do with this book is, so I lay it down here, and what I do with this book is I open it up, and as you can see, I have, first of all, in this book, this is like all of my rounds. I put a couple rounds that I'm going to collect. I don't really collect that many rounds, but I was collecting the Hercules set, so obviously I have 2 of these books. This is this is the entire Hercules set, from the first one all the way to the 12th one. And then earlier this year, I showed you I got These are a 1991 set that I purchased, and it's gold gild on it. Beautiful set. And then here's the Canadian set, Birds of Prey. I just put them in here because I have a whole bunch of these pages that I get for specific coins. Then next, this is my silver eagles. And basically what I'm going to do is I have them in order here. So, you know, when you look at this set, it starts from, there's another coin underneath here, because as you can see, there's some empty spaces in here. So these are coins underneath that I've showed you before. So let's say this is an 87. The 87, I will open this book up, and the 87 will go into here. And when I get an 86, it will go into this slot right here. And here is a 97. So here is 95 is right here, 95, 96, 97. So when I'm done this video, my 1997 will go in here. And then eventually I want to get, it's going to be 2 pages of all of these coins. So it's pretty cool. You know, I'm collecting all of these. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up and show you exactly what I'm actually doing, why I'm collecting these, and how I'm actually doing it, because I haven't showed you that in the past. So that being said, you know, this is where I'm at with what I'm doing, and I'm doing the same thing with the Britannias as well, as well as a couple of other coins. So hold on one second. So anyway, that is my story there. So again, I got two more of these. The 1997 I needed. This is actually my number 2 of number 2 set. I got this one for $22.62, and the 1987 I got for $21.84. So that is that on these two. Next, all right, this is pretty cool. This is my 20th 1996 Libertad, and it's an MS-67. I paid for this. Actually, it cost originally $89, and I got $27.95 in a refund from an eBay mishap that happened. So it was actually in my favor, and I got $27.95 for free. So I got $27.95 in eBay credit. I ended up paying $61.05 for this piece. And what's beautiful about it is it's my final 1996 of 20. So I made up a couple of new lists here so you guys could see it, and I made it a lot easier. So this is my Mexican 1-ounce silver Libertad checklist by year. And again, my goals are to get, and you can see I scratched up this hand pretty good, but I don't have Band-Aids on it. 1 tube of 20 for each year. So you can see the progress that I've made. This takes me to 94. And I've also, you know, if you look a little closer, I put like the hardest mintages to get. 96 has 300,000, and that's when the new style started. So this is the new style of Libertad. I mean, I'm not going to hold the suspense. Here's a 1987 that I purchased, and you could see the difference on the fronts. And then when I flip it, you could see the difference on the backs, in case some of you did not know it. And this is more or less what they look like. And it's a smaller, thicker coin, the older ones, opposed to the newer ones, but both just as beautiful. So anyway, getting back to the 1996, I did it all the way out to 2021. I figure by that time it'll be 40 years of Libertads. So going to 1996, guys, guess what? This is my 20th one. I get the cross off. 1996 is now checked off. I do not have to get any more 1996s, even though it's not a complete official tube. I just said I wanted 20 of each, whether that's graded coins, whether that's you know, coins I can actually physically put in a tube. I just wanted 20. At some point in the future, if I want to fill the physical tube up, I'll do it. I don't know if I will, but you know, when that time comes, that time will come. Next, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 19 87. So 1987 Libertads. And again, they are gorgeous, gorgeous coins. I love them. This one's starting to tarnish a little bit. I mean, they're all in really great condition. So here's what I paid for them, actually. I got them from a seller on eBay, and I paid 38, 38, 38, 38, and 31. Okay, I mean, I could have cost averaged these, but I'm telling you exactly what I paid for them. They've been pretty tough pulls, especially in nice condition. So I got 5 of them, and you know, they all came in their little tubes because there's tubes are difficult to find for the older ones. But I got 5 of them, and I'm fine with that. You know, I mean, between in Libertads, actually, if you want to cost average it, I spent here $244 for these, but it actually cost average to about $40.68 per coin, which isn't too horrible. I mean, if you try to find a 1987 on eBay, tell me if you could find one for $36 and under. I mean, I paid about $36 for each one in great condition. See how good of the ones that you can find are. I'd be impressed if you did. It's not a challenge. You can interpret it as a challenge if you want, but I'm just saying that is exactly what I paid. So that's another 6 more ounces to the stack, and that is that on that front. Next, how am I going to do this? Let's see. Oh, that worked. Okay, great. I finished off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my Austrian Philharmonics for the year 2015. So my goal every year is just to pick a random country that has bullion. And this year, I picked the Austrian Philharmonics. Last year, I just did the U.S. Silver Eagle in 2014. So, and earlier this year, I got a super steal on 2010 Britannias for $5 a coin. If you saw that video 2 months ago, that was amazing. So anyway, I need to fill in the gaps of 11 and 12 and 13, which I will at some point. But that being said, I have 15 of them in here, and I needed 5 more to complete the tube. Actually, these were shipped to me in this tube, so I could technically, if I won't, put them in here. But I've been using that, and it's fine. So I got 5 more. I paid $16.72 each. I got them at JM Bullion. I got them, I guess, the beginning of December or whatever. In fact, I got them right after I made the video, last month's video, because I said I'm going to finish it off. So I ended up getting 5 of these, and that's another tube complete. Thrilled to death. It was awesome, terrific. Super happy with that. All right, next one is, oh yes, here we go. 1, 2. I got 2, as I said, I made a video on this earlier in the month of December, or it could have been the end of the month in November. I'm pretty sure it was in December. And it was for the 2016 Britannia. And this, again, is the new style with the new portrait of the Queen. Now, when I told everybody about this, they were at, I believe, $34.75, something like that, okay? And the reason I recommended it is because they're first strikes, they're 2016, it's a new portrait, and between you and me, it's probably the last portrait of the Queen, statistically on average, unless they come out with a commemorative, because it's going to go then to the King at that point. It'll turn into King Charles. So, anyway, the other thing is, this is a first strike. Now, although they're not MS70s, which they do have, the first strikes, if you look at any other year, and a lot of people say it's BS and a con game, I gotta tell you guys, for $34.75, it's not a bad semi-investment to hold on to it, just because it's the first issue of her face like this, the portrait like this. And then on top of it, it's a piece of history, and it is a first strike. So, that being said, makes it well worth it for me to actually attain these. And I need it from my set anyway. And just so you can see what I'm going to physically do with this, I want to show you this as well. A couple little treats today that I don't normally get to show you guys because I'm rushed for time, but I'm not today. So again, I have another book here. This is one of my 4 Britannia books, actually, because these books hold 4 pages. They do have books that hold 6 pages, which I may look into at a point in the future. So I go into here, and I'm going to turn to, you can see some of my other coins here. Here we go. So here is, you could see the 2015 proof that I got earlier this year. Here's a regular 2015. Here's another BU 2015 that I have. Here are the, this is what? The horse privy. So I just got 2 BUs that I got graded. And then I got an MS69 horse privy, proof-like. And then, if I go back one more page, you could see I got a regular BU, and here is the 2014. That's the 2014 proof. Gorgeous coin. So, and then, I can go before it and I could say, okay, look, I got 3 of the snake privies and I write the mintage on there, 300,000. And then go back to 13. And we keep going back and forth with this. So anyway, this is what it is here with these. So for me, I have 2 of these books, so I am going to put on my my graded section, I want at least 1 graded coin of each, so I'm going to put 1 graded one there in the middle, and then I'll put 2 more of these types of coins. I need to get a couple more of them on the right and the left side, and then in my other book I'm going to put this one. So just so you see how I'm doing it, that's how I'm doing it. And I'm going to show you a couple things, why I'm doing it, and why I'm showing you that. So here's the deal. So you can see I love these albums. They're fantastic for me. So let me go into my next one for you guys. Let me move this down. Let me put this down so I could actually physically get another hand free. And what I did was for myself specifically, and to make it easier to document, I did this. This is what I need for my Britannias. And so as you can see, I just got 2 of the 2016s. So right here, we ended 2015, the 15 privies, which is the sheet privy. You see they're not crossed off yet. And the regular 15s, there's the proof. There's 2 BUs. Now we go to another page, because each one of these represents one of those pages that I just showed you. And then what you just saw was one of the BUs. So here's one of the BUs. That BU is now crossed off officially. So I no longer need that BU, and now I can just get another one because I want at least 1 graded on each in each book. And then same thing here, except this book is not only for my BUs and proofs where the other ones were. The other one is for brilliant uncirculated and gold gilded coins. Okay? So that being said, I want to show you. Here's the a 2016. So wherever you see one of these G's, that means that I got 1 of them that are graded. So you just saw it, my 2016 graded. It actually is getting crossed off. That is a done deal. Now, here's something I want to go back to. I want to go back to this sheet. All right? And here's something that I'm very, 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 very happy about. The holidays just came up, and I was extremely fortunate to get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of the 2015 the lunar sheep privy Britannias. All right. I put them in these three, and then there's a fourth I left here so you could see the rim itself. Let's see if you could see the rim. Let's see here. Let's see if we could show you the rim. Can you guys see it? There you go. Well, they're ram privies, okay? And they are not easy to come by, guys, but I was very, very fortunate that some family members knew I was collecting these, and they actually spent $52 each on them. They bought them on eBay, they told me, and I knew they bought 2 of them. I didn't think they bought 4 of them. But they're $52 each, and I paid 0. So for me, that is 0 towards my stack. So these will all go in my book. I need actually 2 more, so I'll buy 2 more at some point. I have a birthday coming up soon. You never know what's going to happen there. But I would like to get some graded ones if that's even remotely possible. I don't see them on eBay. I'm thrilled to get 4. I know there's not that many. I know I spoke to the person on eBay who's actually selling them, and I know they said that they're running low. So to get them for $52 each, and for me to physically get them free, I am literally overjoyed. You know, and there's only 175,000 of them, guys. So, you know what? It's pretty good. I'm not going to complain, and it was a gift. And happy holidays, happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to me. And, you know, in the end, like I said, they're for me today, but they're for my heirs down the road. So that's another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally I got another gift. So, but let's focus on this for a second. So let's go to my privies right here. So we're going to say I got 4 of them. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cross off 1, just to keep it even. 2. And then I'm going to go to the gilded books. And I am going to say, here is my, oops. Oh no. Well, that just screwed me kind of. I have to remember this now. I put it on the 2016. So I am going to put a dot here and a dot here to remember that I screwed that up royally, but that's okay. I can live with it. If I know what I screwed up, it doesn't matter. Here's the 2015 privy, 2015 privy. So I still need to get the 2016 privy, which I know they make, but you cannot find it for less than a fortune. So I need to get them. That's the year of the monkey privy, where a monkey is on the rim. I'm looking for that on eBay. I know where they're selling it, but you have to buy like $10,000 worth of coins there, and I'm just not, that will never happen. So until they actually go on sale for a fairly reasonable price, I go for that. And then next, like I said on this one, give me 1 second here. All right. We got these. We got 1 and 2. And so they are done. Now, why I'm on the gold gilded page, or the silver with the gold gild, I was fortunate enough to get another gift. This was from my father, actually. And it is the 2010. That is the 2010. I'm going to drop it here so you guys can see a clearer picture of it. The 2010 Britannia with gold gild. Now, again, you know, I'm trying to get all of them, all of the Britannias, with gold gild also. And this one actually cost him $61.90, he told me. And, but he gave it to me, so guess what? I didn't pay anything for it, so it was free. So that's another ounce of silver for free on my stack, and something that I knew was going to cost some money. And it is a beautiful coin, actually. It's a beautiful coin. So, you know, it's definitely one of those things that I am happy somebody purchased for me, and I don't have to spend the bucks for it, and I'm all about that. So, that being said, we go here, and we see the G, and again I see my other screw up. So the G here actually means gilded, not graded. And like I said, I just made this earlier today, so I'm not like used to it. So that means I got to get a 2016 graded, which is easily accessible. They're coming out now. But this is the 16 graded, which I showed you the first strike. I need to get a regular BU, and I now need to get a gilded one. And then I'm going to come down to the 2010. And as you can see right here, even though I have the BU in a tube, I'm probably going to end up getting another BU and another graded coin in them because I want one graded and one gilded of each one. So you just saw the 2010 gilded. So that one is now officially off the list that I need. Makes me thrilled to death that that is it. So I made some progress in my checklist, guys. I mean, I am overjoyed with that. So, you know, you could see pretty much everything I got. Then the last thing that I got this year, I treated myself because I did get some free things, and I knew this was going to cost me a lot of money. This is the 2007 Britannia Proof. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful coin. And it's a Deep Cameo Proof 69. Just so you know, if you get this in a 70, it's probably upwards of 900 to 1,000. In 69, it cost $281.66, and about $30 of that was shipping from the UK. So I got it. That was my Christmas present to myself, and I'm thrilled about that. So we take that, and we know that's the proof. So real quick here, we go to the 2007. I see 2007 proof. That now is off the list. So that is definitely progress that was made. Overjoyed about all that good stuff. So let's look back at the entire year. This is the entire year in review here. It's been quite a year. So let's go down to the nitty gritty here. When I go and I look at the month of December, I spent the $281.66 for the Britannia, and we do not count proofs and older coins in the amount of bullion that I stack. So that's a totally separate entity, and I will always continue for that to be a separate entity. Oh, that is something else that I wanted to do. It just reminded me. It's not a big thing. Last month, I actually showed you the 2008 proof that I purchased. And I never crossed it off of the list. And you could go back on the video for the end of November. So I'm also crossing off the 2008 proof, and you could see that in my past videos from last month. If you want to look at that, you'll see why I'm crossing it off. Anyway, getting back to the story here. $576.50 is what I spent this month in everything else that you saw minus the coin. Now, last month I made a mistake. I said it was 29 ounces, but in reality it was only 28 ounces. So this month it legitimately was 30 ounces, so I'm subtracting one random ounce. It doesn't really matter. And I'm saying I got 29 this month. It evens it out month over month, okay? So when you divide actually the 30 ounces, because I just am keeping with the division, the 30 ounces divided by 576.50, significant different, less than half of what it was last month. So you could see the stuff that I bought last month was high dollar items. $19.22 per ounce, and that all includes shipping. So that makes my total spent overall since I've been stacking $23,872 and change for, congratulations to me, 955 ounces. And I say congratulations to me because my goal was to get to 937 ounces to meet my goal. And I made it to, with this month, 955 ounces. However, so this goal, check. Now, the next goal was to get my cost basis lowered from 24.80. Well, when you average it all out, it's hilarious actually. Comes out to $24.99 24.997 per ounce. I could have wrote 25 even there, but the truth of the matter is it was under 25, so I wrote it to the last decimal, and it's 24.997 an ounce. So I dropped 17 cents from last month, more or less, because this is like 16.8, I think it was. So I dropped 17 cents, but I fell short of lowering my cost average. So this was a fail. This was a pass, but the fail was lowering my cost basis. So I raised it by 0.19 cents an ounce, which, you know what, in the scheme of things with the items I got, believe me, it doesn't really make much difference. Especially when the price today alone, I think, dropped like 35 cents an ounce. So, you know, whatever. 19 cents, I'll do better next year. And I think next year I may get some more physical bullion, like bars, to put in my stack, because you could see, look how low look how much lower from last month into this month. And to put a third of my stack in bars, which I planned on doing anyway come the current year, that is it. And by the way, collect numismatic sets and prime pieces, where I definitely achieved that goal. So almost all of my goals were met. I mean, 2/3 of them. This I missed by 19, so let's call it 20 cents I missed that by. So you know what? Could be worse things. And I'm kind of proud of myself on the year. So when you break this down even more, in the end, for the total of 2015, so here's this deal. I spent a total, when you look at all my months from January till now, I spent $9,883 and a penny only on the bullion coins that I would consider bullion, not the proofs also. Divide that by 12 months, it comes out to an average of about $823.60 a month, we'll call it. The total amount of ounces this year was 393.82 ounces. It's pretty good. I wanted 365. And then for the entire year, you could see where I kind of went awry. My cost average for the entire year was $25.10 per ounce. So with every single thing I bought, that's what it was. And, you know, my overall cost average was 24.99 cents. So a little miss in the cost average. Hopefully next year I could bring that a little bit lower. My goal for next year probably would try to get it down into the 23s if it's at all possible, or lower, which would mean I have to bring it down a full dollar. I could do it. I probably can do it. If next year is going to be more or less the same as this year, I could definitely do it. There are a lot of higher quality pieces that I want to get to finish off my Libertad set. We'll see what happens with that. I just have to even it out with like buying like, you know, a 10-ounce Provident bar, which cost me $145.80. You know, that will average out the higher priced coins. So that is where I am with that. And as I close every month, and I'm sorry this runs a little long because it's the end of month and end of year video, I always show a list of everything I purchased as a recap. And here you could see exactly what I bought. There's the proof. There's the Provident Prospector. The colorized coins. There is the Libertad. That's the 96. And you could see it's number 20 of 20. Here are the 5 1987s, and that's number 6 through 10, excuse me. It's number 6 through 10, so basically I'm halfway through them. The Austrian Philharmonics, you could see it's the final 5 that I needed for that set, so I filled the tube of 20 on them. My cost basis on them is About $17.80, give or take a couple pennies. That's fine. It's a tube done. You know, they came down a little, obviously, a dollar less, but I can live with that. Next, oh, here is this is something I forgot to tell you. The 2016s, the first strike coins that I got. I told everybody about them at $34.75. I was using some of the gift cards this month that I've been putting videos up. And so I had two different accounts that I was using. So on one of them, I saved $5.50, brought it down to $29.25. And the same with the second one. So for $29.25, it was a hell of a deal. You know, it cost $20 to get them graded, guys. So it's like I bought it technically for less than spot grading. Then here's the gifts that I got. You can see it said that they paid $52 each for them, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And zeros are gifts. Minted 175 of the Britannia Ram privies. And then finally I got another gift, the 2010 gilded from my father. And that was a zero also. So that's 5 ounces I didn't have to factor in, which would have raised my cost basis probably $6 or so. And again, that's just the rest of the information that I relay to you. So, guys, again, I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy new year for 2016. I want to thank you all for watching my video through 2015. And, you know, hopefully we all have a prosperous 2016. And thank you so much for sticking with me through all of my ups and downs with this, and it's definitely a positive in my life. I look forward to making these videos. I know they run a little long sometimes, but they make me happy, and I know a lot of you get a lot out of it, and I get a lot out of watching you guys as well. So stay safe, be healthy and happy in 2016, and again, thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, guys, and again, Happy New Year.